My name is Scholten, and in this video I will give you an introduction to the plant theory. What is the plant theory? Plant theory is a homeopathic classification of the plant kingdom. It's a classification of all the plants that are known. You can compare it to a map of a city. The plant theory uses as a basis the APG classification. This classification is made by an international group of botanists, and they call themselves the Applied Phylogeny Group, APG. The classification is based very much on DNA analysis. There have been many other older classifications like that of Cronquist, Taktayan and Stebbins, and much of those classifications is confirmed by the DNA analysis. But also there are many things that have been changed. In this APG classification there are many clades. Clades is another word for groups. You have phyla, which are subkingdoms, divisions. You have classes, subclasses, orders and families. And all those families and orders have beautiful names. But you don't have to learn them all. It's like a map of a city. You don't have to know all the street names in order to find your way into the city. Once you have a map, you can start anywhere, and gradually you will learn the names and know more and more of the places in the city. Another aspect of the plant theory is that it uses very much the element theory. The element theory is a classification of the periodic system, and it uses series and stages. The plant theory also uses phases, which I will explain later. The series are a very important aspect of the periodic system and of the element theory. They are the rows of the periodic system, and they represent the goal that someone is striving for, the desire, their aversion, their longing for something. They want something, they need something, they want to reach something. So the basic question is, what is someone doing in life? So each series has its own desire. The hydrogen series is very basic and is only the desire to experience. In the carbon series, there's a desire to be someone, to be a person, to be a body. In the silicon series, the desire is to have a relationship, to be loved, to be respected by others, to be in contact with others. In the ferrum series, or iron series, the desire is to be someone in society, in a community, to be respected by the people around you. In the silver series is the desire to be someone in a culture, in a science, to have some knowledge, to be respected by other scientists or artists or the whole society. In the gold series or aurum series, which also contain the lanthanides, there's a desire to be in control, to be in power, so that you can change the world, so that you can ameliorate the world. In the uranium series, there's already a retirement, and there's a desire to be someone even after death. The stages are a way to achieve the goal. It's the feeling how far they are in reaching their goal or losing their goal. And not only a feeling, but especially how they handle the situation, how they act. The stages represent a kind of cycle. Rise, top and fall. An increase till a fullness. Like a plant that starts growing, comes to full growth and flowering, and then after that starts declining and producing seed. It's the cycle of gaining, having success and loss. It's the cycle of life. And each stage represents a phase in that cycle. There are 18 stages, like the 18 stages in the periodic system, the 18 columns. The phases is a new concept, but when you know the element theory, it's basically nothing new. It's just the same kind of thing as the stages. But then the stages, how they are in the first two rows, for the first three rows especially, the carbon series and silicon series. When you would make a periodic system of the first three rows, it would look like you see here downstairs. And there are only 8 columns. And those 8 columns are the 8 phases. So phases basically are the same kind of thing as the stages. They represent a cycle, but there are only 8 phases in it. I named them phases to avoid the confusion with the stages. This is a representation of the phases. You can see here that there's a kind of group or goal or idea that they want to belong to. And they go from left to right, going to the main position, which is the phase 4, which is central, and then losing again and going out of it again.